Three, two, one. Love Talk Radio.
Well, here we are. It's another fabulous morning, and it's Tuesdays with Tessa. Good morning, Tessa.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am great.
One of the reasons that I love doing anything with you is that you've got a wonderful standard opening that is always an uplift, no matter what, and that is just spectacular. And the way that you say it, your voice, and for those of you who are viewing us on video, the look on your face, you're convincing.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, usually I say I am wonderful.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You are wonderful. I will back you up on that one. So we've got a special episode here today. This is Dr. Deb Carlin, your host, with Tessa Greenspan, my Tessa with Tuesdays with Tessa. And we're here on Blog Talk Radio for the K Factor, where K equals kindness, and the factors are all the things that lead to it. So you might say that I consider Tessa to be a factor. And we were talking about what we wanted the show to be about today. And so Tessa came up with, I called it the Three Elves. And we're talking about love and laughter and leadership, lessons in life.
Yes.
And Tessa, what was running through your mind as you were thinking about that?
Well, I was thinking about it's really important, especially in this time, is that we must start with love. I mean, we can't be angry and hate and have so much divisiveness. So it's really important for everyone to know that love is what's going to help every single person. And it's really important to stop, to learn methods that you can de-stress and just know that love is really the greatest of these are love. I mean, it's in many, many books and in the Bible. And so it's really where we must start is to love.
In my mind, as you're speaking, I am running through in a sundry of songs. I sent out the other day on a text to a group of people who were argumentative. Dionne Warwick singing "What the World Needs Now is
Love, Sweet Love." Yes.
Love. Yeah.
And that, by the way, would be really a good thing if you have stress, is to play that song.
Absolutely.
Or a song that is upbeat, because it changes your mind at the moment. But it's so important to have a really great song that can bring you back to the center.
And what you're describing, Tessa, is our intuitive reality, what we know. But in science, we've absolutely identified that there are chords and notes that really are in a frequency that when we engage in that frequency, it is spectacular. And, I'm thinking of the studies that we've done on the humpback whales and on the timber wolf, and they sing in D minor. And it's very relaxing. It's a little eerie and it's very relaxing. And it's known to be the note of the earth. Isn't that fascinating?
It really is. And so many other animals too is, I think that we could learn a lot, especially from pets, from dogs. Right. They are pure love. And actually I'm doing a speech, and one of the things I said, if you don't have a pet, get one. If you can, because they love you unconditionally. They are a great example of what love is.
Yeah.
No matter what you say or do to them, they come back and are so looking forward to seeing you. And that's really a great example of pure love.
It really is. You know that the shelters, I don't, this could just be a rumor, but I hope it is a rumor. I'm going to spread it because it's a really nice one. The shelters are supposedly not able to keep up with the demand right now that there is for pets, because during this time of isolation and incubation, people are thinking, well, this is kind of lonesome and we need some more playfulness and entertainment. And pets not only love us, but they play all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's so good. And we could do whole series on love and examples of love and examples of what's possible in life, and examples of bringing ourselves into the place of love.
Oh, we got a little
actual feeling, because we can say,
we had a little
we can
freeze going on
say,
there for a second.
uh-huh. Oh, really? Okay, we can say I love you many times.
Yeah.
But unless you say it with feeling,
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. And just to say I love you or love you, that isn't the same as saying things with feeling. If you don't do things with feeling, I love you, and mean it, then it really is just empty words. And so it's really important for us to be aware. Don't just say love you, say it with feeling.
Right. Yeah, there's a weird kind of disconnect when somebody gives you an expression of love ya. Yeah. Like see ya.
Yeah. And that's really what it is in essence. It's like see you or bye. It's not the same. And so I would urge everyone to practice getting into feeling. When you're saying I love you, say it from the heart, because everyone knows.
Right. Well, you know what, Tessa? I do love you. I love you dearly.
Thank you. And I love you too.
You know, that practice of letting your friends know, I think more now than ever before, is so critical. I'll tell you, in today's reality, and dividing my time across Chicago and St. Louis, I'm very, very happy to feel thought of, to be feeling the comfort of people thinking of me as I'm in Chicago these last 2 days when there has been massive disruption. And so one of the things that I've thought about is, what if we could, as a nation, have a movement where the moment that we hear of something like that, everyone automatically, because we all shift into anger and fear, what if we shift into massive love? And what if we had certain times during the day that we went into prayer and massive love as a practice? What might we be able to do you think, Tessa?
Well, it would ease a lot of pressure on a lot of people, first of all. It changes the energy too. It isn't really just one. So when there have been many different things, as far as everyone in the whole world is stopping for a minute and just saying I love you, or just being quiet and sending positive energy, it has worked. And so it really would be good for the whole world to take a time. And, it can be, I don't know who would even organize it, but take a time for everyone to stop at that minute and just breathe deeply and just say, I love you. It would change so many people's moods and other kinds of things. And so love is really, it's sort of an overworked word. And when you say it again without meaning, or just say it, or whatever, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't mean anything if you don't put feeling with it.
I think that we could, on our platform at 10 a.m. on Tuesday mornings every week, open with I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain people who I follow who are very popular. They have an internet celebrity status, and I thought it was kind of interesting the first few times that I heard them speaking, and they would say, I love you for being here, and if nobody else has told you today, I love you. And I thought to myself, well, how do they know? They don't know me. And then I thought, I find myself going back there because their message feels so authentic, so genuine, that I think what they're expressing is a love of humanity. And we really need a love of humanity right now.
Well, we could each say, I love you for being here. I mean, it's really a great way to start. So
yeah, it's a wonderful way to start.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you suppose that you've learned these lessons in application to leadership in terms of love and laughter and leadership? Where did you get all those ideas from? What experiences?
Well, I have been a student of it all of my life, as far as what makes us work, how we can improve, self-improvement. I have been a work in progress for 40 years or more. So it's really not something that you can have immediately. It's something that is a way of life and practicing over and over again. It's just, decide that this can be a way of life. It's really, again, your practices that you do every single day, which actually brings me to laughter, because I think the two go together. I think that if you have things that you can laugh, or really even have cute things or a cute video that you go to.
Right.
I love babies' laughter.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone could not laugh when you hear this baby laugh. So
Right.
many times I will go, if I need a change in energy, I will go to a clip that I have that is a baby laughing. And you cannot
Resist.
not laugh when
Absolutely.
you hear that.
Yeah.
So really, that's another way of changing your mindset when you are having a difficult time, or when you can't get off of a subject,
Right.
or it's hard, or that you have challenges. Have a video of a baby laughing. You cannot not laugh too. And it does change your mindset at the moment.
It does. Yeah, it really does, because seeing something, YouTube and the internet is probably one of the most brilliant things ever.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
And that visual and that auditory, that sensory immersion, full immersion into it. So friends, as you're listening and you're thinking, yeah, but I don't have a baby laughing clip, just go on to Google and go into YouTube and type in YouTube video, babies laughing, and you will get the most beautiful long list of
Mm-hmm.
experiences of that. There's how about the experience of the baby? There's a gazillion of these, but there was a baby who had been born not able to hear, but they immediately got it taken care of the first time that baby heard its mother's voice.
Yes.
And it's just cooing and laughing and
Pure
smiling.
joy.
Yeah, pure joy, exactly. Because in vitro, yes, it was hearing mommy's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful things that we can turn to. I know I will, if I get in an off place, and I'm in a leadership position and I need to walk into something, I am thinking to myself, okay, what am I going to do to shift my gears? And I'll go to that song by Dionne Warwick, or I'll pull up Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World.
That's my favorite song.
I love that song. Mine too.
Yes.
The title of it, the way that he sings, the richness of his voice, the words. I mean, everything about it is so rich and crisp. And I'll do that because I think I can't walk into a room or walk into an event or walk into this platform recording and try to have a conversation or lead anything and be off my game, right?
It's so true. And that is really important. That is a great message for everyone, is to play a happy song. Before you go into anything, before you have a meeting, before you make a phone call, it really sets the stage of what it is. There is something called Ho'oponopono too, that has helped people in prisons. So that when there's a saying, I love you, I forgive you, please forgive me, thank you. This is another phenomenal way of, in your mind, doing this to other people. I love you. And when you say it with meaning, I love you, and have a person's image in your mind. I love you. I forgive you. Please forgive me. Thank you. And again, saying it and meaning it, being at the moment with it. You can do this in your mind, even with a person that is far away, and somehow that energy gets to them. So, and it's proven that prisoners who were it was in mental institution that were filled with hate and all of this. This was proven to reduce their anger.
Mm. I believe in this energetic connection between all of us. And when we find ourselves, and I've dialed into this for as long as I can remember, when I find myself thinking about somebody and it keeps coming to me, as opposed to me feeling like I'm creating the thought about that person, I reach out and that person invariably tells me, this is so weird because I've been thinking about you. And then I find out something has been going on and they needed the connect. So if we can think love about someone, of course they're going to be able to feel it. They might not know what they're feeling or who it's coming from, but we'll feel it because that energy travels.
It is the absolute truth. I have done this for many years. In fact, and I would like to encourage every single person, when a name comes to your mind, immediately call them or somehow get into contact, because it's sort of your inner being wanting you to help or connect with that person. I have done that so many times myself. Once it came to my mind, it's actually when I started the store, that a person's name came to my mind and I called them right away. And they said, I am so thankful that you called me. My mother just died. So it's really important for us to act on our intuition, because we're getting messages for us to act.
All the time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It reminds me, as you say, that when people talk about their faith and talk about the ways in which, I pray, God, I've stopped because God doesn't answer my prayers. And I ask the person, how is it that you watch and are ready to receive the answers to your prayers? Because if you make a prayer, if you have a prayer that you pray to God, to the universe, to whoever is your higher power, are you waiting until your box is checked? Because all of our prayers are answered, just in a sundry of ways. So sometimes it's kind of like ordering from Amazon and you think the package is going to be left right in front of your door, and you don't bother looking down the porch or down the hallway or in the mail room.
Great analogy. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And we think, no delivery, I'm so upset. No, the delivery's actually there. But we don't.
Great example of, yes, it's so true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So blessings, and I think about this in terms of the 3 L's of love, laughter, and leadership. Every one of us are called to lead. Yeah, we're called actually to, and a friend of mine reminded me of this the other day. I said, it gets so lonesome during this incubation quarantine thing. Even though we can go out and go shopping and do things and even go dining, it's still lonesome because you don't have people in your home the way that you would normally. And I'm big on that. I love having people in my residence. And her response to me was, you have to be your own leader and your own entertainment. You come in alone, you have to leave alone, and we have an assignment in the middle, and that is go through all the challenges and figure it out yourself. I mean, don't live your life as a hermit, but be able to, truly be able to, and take joy in that. And I thought, yeah, we are called first to lead our own being and to love ourselves first, right? And to find joy in that and just burst into our own laughter, which, how many things are there for us to watch and look at, our foibles or the things that we just see in nature? Every day we're invited to look and find the levity. What a wonderful way to lead others then, right? By example.
It is so true. It is so true. And love is so important in this, and that is, we must love ourselves first before we can really love or accept love from others. So that being alone is one. And I wanted to go back to prayer too.
Okay.
I feel, in my opinion, is that praying sort of asking for God or just saying, thank you, God. And the more you can be thankful and the more you just write down and say it, thank you. Then meditation is listening for the answers.
How lovely.
Yes. So that's my opinion anyway, that I feel that prayer is either asking or just thanking God and then being quiet. Put your intention, or, this is something that I would like to have the answer to, and then just meditate, clear your mind. Or if you want to do a guided meditation, but meditation is really an important part in the prayer, I think, in love and learning to really go deep inside of yourself.
It absolutely is. And isn't it interesting the ways in which in our normal life, the deep contrast that we're in right now is we're not only invited right now, we're commanded to quiet down.
Yes, that's
to
true.
sit still, to be in the stillness and figure out what in your own four walls you can do for your knowledge, your self-care, your love, your loves, your beloveds, your home, your work, and to just get still. And I've heard so many people, on social media, so many people talking about their meditative practices, which you're absolutely right, are just a period of stillness, pause, and quiet.
Mm-hmm.
The saying, I can't even hear myself think.
Yes.
How many of us, excuse me, at one point or another, until this year, have heard ourselves saying that? I can't even hear myself think. Well, right, because you need to carve out that time. It's precious.
Yes. It's really important to get quiet, because we can't, if we are so busy and never getting quiet or not even thinking, then our life will be really stressful.
Incredibly.
So, love, laughter, and leadership. My opinion is that we must love others and ourselves, but ourselves first. Enjoy life. I love my life. I absolutely am so grateful and thankful. I love my life. In case you didn't hear it, I love my life. I am so grateful for so much. And really being thankful and grateful is part of that whole process, which when we do those things, then we are better leaders. And we then can be much better leaders, leaders with compassion, leaders with understanding, leaders with just being aware of you, being truly at the moment right now, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
That really is leadership.
That is absolutely true. Nobody wants to follow someone who they don't think cares, doesn't see them, doesn't care about them.
Yes,
I mean, the only thing that matters in leadership is, do you have any followers?
that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, you can be a leader in your business. So there's all kinds of leaders, but everybody has an example of a really great atmosphere that you really want to work, and you would do far more. As an example, I am just so blessed because I was ahead of the curve in many ways, and that's how I led. That I really acknowledged every person, and especially when they had a birthday or they did something great. So acknowledging that your people and being sincere. You can't just pull it off and be phony.
No.
You can't just say, how are you? And not mean it, and not listen to what the response is. To me, that is a great leader. A leader works at understanding. It doesn't mean that you can't be firm. I feel that I was and am a firm leader, although I'm fair. I am not going to ever embarrass you in front of someone else.
Yeah.
It's being fair. You can be firm but fair, and people accept that.
Yeah. Yeah, because with what you're describing is loving and caring enough to put the boundaries in place.
Yes.
And then just reinforce them. When we put the boundaries in place, really the boundaries give us a way to relax about where it is that we're at. You know, like we have boundaries right now today. We have allocated so much time in the studio on Blog Talk Radio. There's a boundary on it. There's a countdown on a clock on the recording. We're on Zoom. We're in this square box that is our boundary. So we know anything out of that boundary doesn't have to be straightened up. It can
That's
be.
true. That's
So
true.
boundaries are a wonderful thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And wearing clothing is a boundary.
Yes. I think more people can identify though that a boundary is that you're not going to let another person push you around, but you're going to communicate. And this is another way, communication, and for people to feel that they can say things and you're not going to come down on them.
Absolutely.
That is really wonderful. We could have whole courses on communication because it's not only what you say, it's how you say it and really how everything is working out. So it's really, communication is one of the biggest things. So we might do a whole section on communication sometime because it's.
And for today, we're actually out of time because we have put our show onto 30 minutes for the last 2 episodes, this one and the last one. Tessa, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is your host, Dr. Deb Carlin, here on Blog Talk Radio at the K Factor on Tuesdays with Tessa, and we will see you again in 1 week. Until then, peace out, and we love you.
Yes, we love you.